Okay, so we are here for trying to understand GS Polity section, trend analysis, that what kind of questions have come in the past and what can we expect or learn uh, for the future. Of course, before going into the trend analysis, we should understand that it is not some kind of fortune telling, it's not like uh, predicting something that will certainly come. But here we need to understand by this trend analysis that in the syllabus which is given to us by UPSC, what exactly the kind of questions they have been uh, asking us, right? So, uh, trend analysis should be more scientific and logical. It should not be only a kind of a very descriptive kind of trend analysis. So, we will focus more on understanding that the questions which have come, what can be the general nature of application. So, before that, you can see here that we have uh, 6 to 9 questions are being asked every year, UPSC GS paper, and we need to understand that the governance portion is a different, governance paper we are not including in this portion. It is only purely constitution, right? And then we have here the constitution, federalism, parliament and state, executive judicial, constitutional post, and election, and other miscellaneous issues such as the Representation of People Act. So we have tried to understand, and for your understanding and for your commonsensical understanding, we can understand it in a more simpler term, because here Indian Constitution means the basic principles, right? Like constitutionalism and constitutional morality, which came in 2021. So it is not from a particular article, but it is the overall your comprehensive understanding about the constitution and how it is important. And if you read the constitution in much more a comprehensive manner, going beyond colorless, soulless reading of the articles, then the constitutional morality is always there. Morality is always there, that the general sense in which the constitution should be read, even if it is not directly written in the constitution, like basic structure, like judicial review, like judicial independence, like the values whichever we have, like the balancing between directive principles and state policies. So all these things, if you read it carefully, all these such issues will be resolved, right? So Indian Constitution, we have key areas from the topic: uh, federalism, parliament, legislature, executive judiciary, and the constitutional post, right? So you know the syllabus. I mean, we are in the trend analysis, not the micro detailing of the topic or something like that. For that, you can see another video on the website where you are seeing this. So here we are, you can see here, this is the most important descriptive thing about how the questions have come. So if we see the Indian Constitution, values and principles and all those things, so almost every year there is one question or two questions, 3 questions in 2019. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is always there. Constitutional morality was one question in 2021. If we see the federalism and local and other scheduled and special areas, then we can see again 1, 2, 1, 2 question which is coming almost every year. See, it is not kind of here to tell you that this table actually indicates anything. But this table, if we see very carefully, it indicates that overall questions which is coming in 2015, so 5, you can say 6, 16, 7 you can see 5 again, 18 you can go for 4, suddenly increased, 11. So the number of questions can vary, because if it decreases here, it will increase through governance. Governance is part of polity, but for your understanding purpose, we have separated it in 2 videos. One is for the constitution, polity section, which can say a core constitution. Another is the application of the constitution, that is the governance, right? So almost every year you can find all these topics coming into it. But more important than this will be, what you see is the what kind of questions we are getting. What kind of questions we are getting. For example, if I take 2021 only, to understand what kind of questions have been evolving, because each and every question has been asked earlier as well, but there has been some kind of evolution. So this is the 2021, and these many questions have been asked in 2021, right? So 8 to 9 questions, it's not important mathematically to know, right? The first question says the constitutional morality is rooted in the constitution itself and is found on its essential facets. Okay? So hint is given. Even if some student was not knowing what is the constitutional morality, they can read it that the morality is founded on the essential facets of the constitution, essential features of the constitution, basic principles of the constitution, and then explain the doctrine of morality with the help of relevant judicial decisions. Judicials from Maneka Gandhi. So the point here is that when you see the trend in polity question, we should know one thing, that the questions are seldom descriptive only in the nature. You will rarely get what is Article 15 or what is written there. Questions are always either of the 2 categories. Number 1, analytical, and number 2, application part of any constitutional provision or any issue which is there in the system which is going on. So when as the student you start studying constitution, focus more on the big picture. So trend analysis here is not exactly pinpointing that next year some question will be from preamble, there will not be any question for fundamental rights. This approach of trying to make fortune telling or tarot card reading in UPSC is definitely not going to give any result. So what we are learning from the approach, the constitutional morality, and always understand that when the question itself is bigger, I mean multiple sentences, many parts, then this becomes easier for the students to write and to understand both. Because all the subparts of the questions will be interrelated, and if you somehow are unable to understand the meaning of the first portion of the question, you can easily understand the meaning of that portion with the help of other subparts or the statements or things given there. So the constitutional morality question is there. I mean, we have to understand, and all such value-based questions are have been asked earlier as well. Though in the value-based question you can see in 2022 questions, in 2019 3 questions, and 2018 1 question. So it is there. This time the lottery was for this constitutional morality, right? So if say 2015 says that there were 2 questions, and if we say very well that we can find out the questions given here. Now Another thing is कि when we go for the values, and here if we see carefully, none of anywhere we have mentioned fundamental right. So whenever is the values, so fundamental rights questions will directly be coming here. Why? Because preamble, life, liberty, equality, which you know, fraternity, dignity, if you know, then you know very well that all these values are best represented and implemented through fundamental right. So liberty, equality, justice is in Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 19 to 22. If it is secularism, then 25. It is fraternity and dignity, then it is the proper implementation of the fundamental rights through judicial interpretation. So FRs will be there in this section, and that is very important. And so the trend shows very clearly that the values, basic principles, main features and fundamental rights, these are to be given some kind of interrelated treatment. Only then we will be able to solve, because see, when the question is saying explain the with the examples of Supreme Court. So judicial example if you want to give, then judicial example you will find majorly related with the fundamental rights. So Menaka or Keshwa, all these things will come in the fundamental rights thing, right? So we have to understand in the trend analysis that the question is not only about very, you can say, I'll say colorless question. It will always be with some passion or with some kind of understanding of the whole topic, right? Another question which we can see in 2021 is discuss the desirability of greater representation of women in higher judiciary to ensure diversity, equity and inclusiveness. Okay. So the question is not about any static thing, but always about a general thing about why women are less, how their number can be increased, and what can be the possible benefits from increasing of women judges in higher judiciary. Overall concept you can understand will be there. So trend analysis is not only about finding kitne kahan se aaye. No, this is not again the thing. We have to understand that in each and every question some kind of conviction based writing is necessary, because if you don't feel that women are required to be given more representation, then the conviction in your writing will not come. So this is again fundamental right. If you see very carefully, it is equality, and equality, equal opportunity clause, all these things are part with the general dimension of the women's representation. So not only the women, you have to deal with equality, equal opportunity and possible consequences when women are less in terms of values of the preamble or values mentioned in preamble. So your polity answer writing must always revolve around, if the question is not descriptive, around the values which are given in the preamble, right? Now let's go for the next question in 2021, which is about the Finance Commission report. What are the recommendations of 14th Finance Commission, and state's fiscal position has improved because of that or not? Now the question is descriptive question, no 100% descriptive, but recommendation part of the 14th Finance Commission is, you can see, is typically here from this portion: constitutional post, bodies, statutory, regulatory and quasi-judicial bodies. These topics, when we go for micro detailing, they are too big, and as the student it is very tough to understand that which one will come next. Which one will come next? This time Finance Commission, other times can be GST Council, yet another time could be something like National Human Rights Commission, National Green Tribunal. So the range of UPSC questions here can be very, very vast, right? What has come we know, but our job is to understand that is there any pattern? Is there any pattern? So pattern is these main topics are important here. These are important here. But then with these important topics, we have to understand the topic themselves, if we go for micro detailing, will have many other number of topics within them. Right? Opinion, analysis, Supreme Court judgment, very vital. Next question is, to what extent in your view the Parliament is able to ensure accountability of the executive in India? Executive in India. So whenever you read the Article 73, 74, 75 properly, then you always grapple with these things, that how to make, because basic rule of parliamentary democracy is like what the question is. So they are always about the big picture of the constitution. Women representation, big picture, right? Then parliament executive relation, big picture. Constitutional morality, big picture. So though in between, the 14th Finance Commission, out of the 4 questions which we have seen so far, 14th Finance Commission was descriptive, but all the 3 questions, wherever they are being asked from, are only about the big picture, the impact of the issue in the whole system, and so we need to see how the things will improve. Right. Next question was from CBI, whether the state can prevent CBI from investigation and filing an FIR if they have not given permission by the state, if the jurisdiction of the state is also important. So these are again very important. So CBI came because there was in the news, so many debate was going on. So in trend, always understand that is the trend Q which we can take from the last year or any year's question paper which has come, is that whatever is in the news or in the debate for a longer period of time and has a connection with some systemic issue of the constitution, like here it is connected with the center-state relation. 14th Finance Commission was also linked with the center-state relation. The women question, representation, constitutional morality, and this parliament's accountability of the executive, all these things are the systemic features of the Indian constitution. So ordinarily, if you see from superficial point of view, we can find कि यार ये तो judiciary से question आ गया. No, it is not about judiciary. It is simply about the role of judiciary in India and how a women representation is not there and how it is against the fundamental rights and how the women can be increased and what will it have the positive implication in the judicial system of India. So this is the question which is again there. So as the student, we should focus on some basic narrative about the Indian constitution, some basic issue. The CBI is linked with center-state relation, which is a huge issue, ongoing issue basically. So it was asked the last year, right? So therefore we need to always understand, not don't read CBI, you read that how the CBI thing is impacting center-state relation. Going beyond, because analysis is not possible if you don't go beyond the literal words given to you in any particular question, right? So this was about the understanding the whole question, right? Now the next question which I can see here is analyze the distinguishing feature of the notion of equality in constitution and wherever. So again it is about equality, it is the fundamental rights. They are asking that what is equality in India, what is equality in US constitution, and how it is different, from each other, you know. So if you have read it, you will write it well, but basically it is about the affirmative action thing, the welfare state thing, which is the equality in India but not in the US. Again, this is the big picture. This is the big picture which UPSC is asking. So it is coming from the topic here, you know, miscellaneous thing, or you can say the fundamental rights. You can say because equality is there, but we have to understand that only those things are being asked which is not very specialized in legality. Very specialized in legality. You know, you can see there is no question on ordinance, there is no question on emergency, there is no question on directly from Supreme Court cases like what happened there, why not. All these are asking for the big picture, though related with the main provisions, all the 6 provisions of the Constitution, right. Then again, from state executive, that what is the importance of legislative council and how far they are good or bad. Again, a very traditional question. This is the only traditional question which has been asked, the 2021. And finally, departmental related standing committees are working properly or not. All these things are questioned. So again, from the parliament and all those things, they have come. So what is the trend? Let me summarize the trend analysis in the polity thing. The trend is that key areas of the Constitution will always give you a better chance of getting some question from them. Second trend analysis is that the issues in news connected with some big picture of the Constitution like basic structure, fundamental rights, values, center-state relation, kind of thing will always have more weightage. Third thing, questions are general in nature, but since they have been asked in polity, you will have to make them a kind of a polity answer, not specifically a kind of a non-polity answer. Polity answer means write Supreme Court cases, write some article, right? At the same time, the trend analysis also says that if the 5 to 8 questions are being asked every year, we have to prioritize certain areas more than the other, because equal weight is, because here we can see the descriptive thing has come only from the state and legislative council. So these 5-6 topics are descriptive in nature, like ordinance, emergency, president rule provisions, you know, money bill and ordinary bill, election of president, vice president, appointment of judges and their removal. These 6-7 topics are static in nature. And so, if we prepare them well, we can easily expect at least one question from these 5-6 topics. Rest all the questions are based on, you can say, some dispute, debate, popularity in the last 1 year before your mains. So, keeping yourself aware with the issues which are going on in the last 6 to 8 months, that will be a very important thing to understand how we can catch the polity. So this we need to understand that so it is written here again, the new points which I have not said. It is important for the students to go thoroughly through the topics mentioned in the UPSC syllabus. The list of topics mentioned in the analysis requires a combination of a conventional, current, and I will say conventional, current nahi. You need to understand the constitution better. Students, majority of them, my experience is they don't understand the basics of the constitution, big picture of the constitution. Our knowledge is largely superficial from the book which everybody reads, which is not at all analytical and good for writing men's examination. I'm not taking the name of the book, but you know. So later the supplement, classroom content and all those things will always be there. Note making is crucial. Aspirant who is aware of the dynamics, they should always be talking about this, right? So the trend analysis is about understanding the constitution in a right perspective. Conceptual clarity, linguistic clarification, implications of the Supreme Court cases, all these things must be given a very interrelated manner of studies through various things of the Constitution, right? Be aware with whatever development going on in Supreme Court, because if the debate has reached the Supreme Court or case is going on with the Supreme Court, it will be definitely more chance that that will come in the examination. So from 2015 to 2021, we can see that no single topic can be said to be having not given justice, because if the parliament and legislature that did not come in 15 and 16, you can see all of them are coming after that. If federalism did not come in 2017, then since then it has always been coming 2-1, 2-2, right? And if this portion quasi-judicial bodies in 2019, you can see 5 questions from there, and then again 1-1 have been given. So if you want to find any pattern कि इसको हम लोग अब guess कर ले, so that guess is not possible. We can only see what is happening here. Only see. Nothing more than that we can go. Hopefully, with your own analysis. Analysis is about how you will study further. Analysis, as I said in the first line itself, that is not about to predict what will come in the future. It is about can we learn something from here to improve the way we study. So methodology of study has to be improved, because question in UPSC, big picture, analytical, very few purely descriptive. Even if there will be descriptive, some analytical part will be there. If there is more than one part, always give equal weightage to all the parts and keep having a tap on whatever is going on Supreme Court or in the society as the dispute or the case. Thank you. This was the trend analysis.